Sunshine, yeah, moonlight, good times, again.
Welcome to the Blame It on the Boogie podcast.
The
We are
boogie.
just three brothers, all from the boogie, here to talk to you about a little thing we call sports. Today is season 2, episode number 14, or is it 15? 15. 14. 15, 14. 14.
I thought it was 15. Did we do 14?
It
say 15 at the top.
Yeah, say 15.
That's the number we had. It's 15.
I wrote it. That means it's right.
Then that's what it is. And that's what it is. And as a matter of fact, I think I told you it was 15, dude.
Yeah, you did.
So,
because you know I didn't count.
It's 15.
I can't count that
15, y'all. Episode 15. Time be flying, man. When we having fun out here doing all what we do.
Just like these women running 100, flying.
Woo! Man, this well, we'll get to that in a minute. But this girl was rolling out, man. She was rolling out. I was like, wow. Anyway, today we have with us, as we always do,
Today's special.
Dorian, the Almighty, the Wonder Mouse Brown from Richmond, California. You have Antoine, DOOZE, Deuce Williams from Florissant, Missouri. And of course, you got me, Rod D, right here in the Detroit, Michigan. But it ain't where we at, y'all. It's all about where we from. And we from straight
The boogie.
East Side.
Ooh, that's a wide shirt at the bottom.
Did it get wide?
Or it's a wide view on the camera.
It got
Is that
super
like
wide.
Is that like an East St. Louis flag?
Notice you can't see nothing but my shoulders.
Do you don't want to show the gut, huh?
No.
Don't leave that to all the female fans' imagination, huh?
Man, man, all I know is I went to the doctor on Friday. And then I had to go to another doctor. What was that? Tuesday or Wednesday. And I was 5 pounds heavier. I was like, wait a minute, how did that happen? I was like, I thought these scales was all supposed to be calibrated the same. I gained 5 pounds in 4 days. This is crazy. It's called
There's a lot of veggies. There's a lot of veggies you eat,
man. You're a fat vegan.
You're a fat vegan.
Nah, I'm not a vegan. It takes too much effort to be vegan, man. I'm sorry. It take way too much effort.
Vegan, vegetarian, it's all the same to me.
Yeah, Isaiah humbled me during my trip to Florida when he looked at my picture and said I was fat. It's like, man, I had a nice coordinated Jordan gear on, everything, everything was looking good. My beard was trimmed up, and that's all you noticed, huh? That was your whole takeaway from the whole picture.
He started good.
Man,
Dad, you fat.
I done already had to expand my wardrobe, and so I really hate that. I hope I don't have to go buy larges as far as shirts are concerned for everything. I'm trying to.
No, you need a large, bro, because it's too tight. The medium's too tight right by now. The medium's too tight.
Mediums.
Shoot. Only thing I can say is I've been the same size for about the last 20 years. So y'all done caught up with me. Welcome to the club. I appreciate y'all.
But you know something though, and then we can move on to talk about sports because I'm tired of talking about my body mass index as I'm watching these fit and trim athletes run.
Not a drop of fat nowhere
in the Olympic trials. But man, it's just getting ridiculous, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's getting away from us.
I ain't Ricky Ricardo.
It really is.
It's ridiculous.
It's getting bad, man. I'm like, what's going on? Why can't I stop my waistline from expanding? I'm not understanding. But anyway,
the problem is, man, every morning I step on the scale, trying to get. I'm like, okay, today I know I lost at least 3/4 of a pound. It's gonna be a little lower. It'll never get no lower, man. I'm just stuck. But hey, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. We can still ball if we want to.
I'm gonna tell you,
no, we can't. No, we can't.
Probably not, but
Sha'Carri is showing out in this heat.
Yeah, that ain't right. That just wasn't right. That just wasn't right. She beat them by about 40 yards, man.
She lit him up.
That just wasn't right. And she wasn't even trying hard.
Nah, she wasn't, and got caught behind the other runner who kind of came over a little bit, and she had to slow down, and then she just took off.
Dude, I kind of felt like you earlier, man. I was walking, and then all of a sudden, I just felt my knees was just like this, just bone on bone. I said, "Whoa!"
I remember dudes used to be that fast.
Yeah, I was fast, man. Now I'm pretty slow.
I ain't gonna never lie and say I was that fast. She ran with it. She did a 10-8.
My grandkids are fast.
Dudes run as slow as he eat.
She ran a 10-8.
My grandkids are fast.
with ease, man. All right. Anyway, so okay.
Let's get into what we're gonna talk about tonight, man. Let's talk about a little sports, man. Let's talk about a little bit.
Talk about sports.
Let me get to my banner. Let me add the first banner.
We starting in the
we're gonna start with the NBA, man. We're gonna start with the NBA.
Wait a minute, the last time we talked had Willie Mays passed?
Oh yeah, we got
let's start with that. Let's start with that.
Man, look, who is that?
It's been a bad month, man.
Mm-hmm.
And who right before Willie Mays?
Bill Walton,
Jerry West.
Jerry West.
And then Bill Walton right before Jerry West.
Willie Mays, you had the cat. I mean, we was fussing about Scheffler, but the one golfer passed at the tournament.
At the tournament. Yeah. Well, that was kind of different circumstance, but nonetheless, he passed.
Man, he
got out of here.
Transition. So man, it's just like, man, rest in peace.
But we do want to give all honor and all praises to arguably it's between him and his godson, who were the greatest baseball players in the history of Major League Baseball.
Man.
So Willie Mays, I mean, dudes, be quiet. But I remember watching the highlights when I was younger. Willie Mays playing, man.
Yeah, those are some great games back in the 60s, 50s, 60s.
He was great. The only player, seriously, the only player that I can compare him to is his godson, Barry Bonds, man. Barry Bonds is the only one that can do some of the things that he's done.
And Griffey. Oh,
Junior, yeah, I forgot about Junior. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Junior was the truth.
Hometown kid, but
Junior's issue. If Junior wouldn't have got hurt as much as he did toward the end of his career, he'd be in that 700. He'd be in that 700 talk.
He got hurt coming back home, man. But those are my two all time. Barry Bonds is my all time favorite baseball player. Always has been. I will argue anybody down to this day about Barry Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Got a Barry Bonds rookie card that I hope ends up worth some money. But I sent y'all a thing the other day. I ain't sent it to our chat because we don't really talk baseball. Mm-hmm. But Dan Le Batard on the Dan Le Batard show, he said that if you took away Barry Bonds' 7 MVP seasons, the 7 seasons he won MVP, he would still have 440 home runs and 379 stolen bases, which nobody in the history of the league has ever done. So even if you took away his MVPs, he's still one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Ever. And
still,
there is absolutely zero. We're going to talk about it.
I didn't watch. Now I didn't get a chance to see, obviously, because I was born in 72. So he retired in 73 or whatever. That he played with the Mets that 73 season when they went to the World Series or whatever. So I don't remember, seeing Willie Mays, getting a chance to see Willie Mays play. But I used to watch on ESPN. Do y'all remember when those old home run derbies used to come on?
Mm-hmm.
And in black and white, man, dude, the only cat that I ever saw. Now the best swing that I've ever watched, and I've watched all them old videos. Joe DiMaggio had the sweetest swing I've ever seen.
You know what? I like his swing, but I like Stand the Man better though. But go ahead.
Stand the Man coming like he peeking around the corner.
Go ahead.
But DiMaggio didn't have any hitches in his swing. It was just from here and woo, it wasn't him winding up nothing. He wasn't cocking his bat. He just came through the zone. But anyway, watching Willie Mays hit in them old home runs was just like, man, how can you get anything by this dude, man? It's just, man.
The thing that they were talking about, of course, every time, when he passed, every sports show was talking about Willie Mays. I mean, all day long, that's all we talked about was Willie Mays. But the biggest stat that I heard that made me say, you know what, that boy's bad, was when they said, he 2 of his years, he spent 2 years in the military, so it's 2 years he didn't play in his 20s, right? When he was hitting 40 home runs a season, 2 of his years in his prime, he didn't play, and he still got 660 home runs. So, he would have had that record. He would have had Babe Ruth's record before Hank Aaron.
Let's think about this.
Go ahead.
I'll be willing to say that Michael Jordan is the Willie Mays of the NBA, right? But think about this. This dude batted 300. Lifetime. He's a lifetime 301 hitter. 660 home runs. 1,800 RBIs. Just, he could do it all. He hit for power. He hit for average. He had
bases.
He won 12 Gold Gloves, and he went to, well, again, this was when they were doing the All-Star game in the middle of the season and at the end of the season. But he went to 24 All-Star games. What? And so, which takes me back
to Barry Bonds.
No, takes me back to them damn baseball writers of America. The fact that there had never been, prior to the Sandman, there had never Mariano Rivera, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there had never been a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer prior to Mariano Rivera. So tell me, which one of you idiots didn't vote Willie Mays to get into the Hall of Fame? Again, the entitlement, as my 6th grade teacher, Miss Westbrook, used to say, the audacity that this dude was not a first ballot Hall of Famer, man, it's crazy. Again, it just goes back to the entitlement of the baseball writers of America, and why I despise y'all so. Even though I'm glad y'all finally, decided to acknowledge the Negro League. Take some of that money, some of that revenue, and contribute it to the Negro League Hall of Fame in Kansas City. Wonderful place to visit. I think I mentioned that before. But anyway, back to Willie Mays, man. I mean, like I said, just phenomenal.
So, here's the question that came up. Well, first off, you can't retire every number for every team, right? But if you're looking at a play, don't get me wrong, Jackie Robinson was definitely deserving of being honored by each and every team for the significance that he played in integrating baseball.
Right.
But as a true player, Jackie Robinson was great also. Don't get me wrong, but Willie Mays, man, again, is the greatest baseball player to ever play. I've
never heard anybody even argue that point.
Say it again.
I've never even really heard anybody argue that there's anybody better than Willie Mays.
I've
never heard anybody argue that.
You don't. You can say, well, Hank Aaron had more home runs. Yeah, he did. But Willie Mays, look at Willie Mays. He played in the field. And like I said, he said they were talking about
he played center his entire career.
They were talking about and it was like, how many years he played? 20. How many years did he play?
58 to 7. Wait a minute. From 50
to 73, you said, right?
Well, I know he played with the 73 Mets.
So 15 years?
I think it's longer than that. Hold on. He played from 51 to 73.
So 22 years.
Uh-huh.
Did that include his Negro League?
No, he started in the Negro Leagues in 1948.
All right. And then what 2 years was he gone to the military? Probably 54 and 55.
Korea, no. That would have been like 52.
52. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, he played the first couple of weeks of the 52 season.
And then he got deployed.
And then he reported in May.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was discharged on March of 1954. And he reported to the Giants the very next day.
Uh-huh. And in that season he won the MVP? Rookie year. What did he won some award the year he came back? What did he win?
They won the World Series. I think he won the MVP in 55. But the Giants won the World Series in 1954. Let me see. Let me look down.
All right.
Let me look a little bit further at his stats here.
No, he won Rookie of the Year in 51.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year in 51. He was MVP in 54. Yeah.
Oh, was he? Okay.
MVP in 54 and 65. So the year he came back after a 2-year stint in the military, he came back and won MVP. And as you said, right off the plane, right to off the boat, however he got back over here, and right to training camp, and won the MVP that year. The man is just great, man. He was just great. So now they had the game in Birmingham yesterday. What's the name of that field?
Rickwood Fields.
Rickwood Field. They had the game in Rickwood Field yesterday. I don't. Well, apparently it was something that had been planned for all season. I didn't realize that, but you don't want to say the timing, but the fact that it happened right after Willie Mays passed brought a whole lot more light to to that game specifically, and to the Negro League baseball heritage. And I was happy to see them bring as many of the former, living Negro League players to the stadium so they can get their recognition. That plus, the fact that they're including the Negro League stats with all the Major League Baseball stats.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, it just it shows that as racist as baseball has been, it just shows maybe I'm gonna say they're turning the corner, but the fact that they're acknowledging this stuff now,
but
it just brings a good light to them. That's about it. But go ahead, D.
Something though, I think we forget that all of these leagues have been racist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we talk about Jackie Robinson. Don't get me wrong. We should talk about Jackie Robinson, right? Mm-hmm. But all of the major sports at some point have been racist.
Mm-hmm.
They excluded black players from the league. We're still continuing to talk about the lack of black coaches
in football. Yes, the general managers. No ownership.
Black general managers, black ownership. We still continue to talk about that in all of the sports. Again, I didn't know about the black presence in hockey until I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto and learned about all the black people that had been involved in hockey or whatever. And It's crazy. Thinking about the hell, even though we talk about it a lot and we've become so interested and so invested in it, but golf, for the longest, many of these places where they played, they literally didn't allow black people to be members. You know, Augusta National.
Still, that ain't done.
Yeah,
it's still that way.
They still allowed. They finally allowed a woman, right? But I don't know if there are any black members at Augusta. You know, so all of this stuff. I mean, think of how NASCAR, for how many years they flew Confederate flags, and you know, all those kinds of things. So so I think that, again, it goes back to something that I didn't see it, but I've heard people talk about Reggie Jackson, you know, and what he said about the racism and so on and so forth that he endured, you know, when he started playing, because he started off playing in Birmingham. And then he went through the AIDS organization. But, you know, this was still, you know, happening in the 60s. So a lot of people think that, oh, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier and there wasn't no more racism.
Yeah.
I mean, or, you know, any of this kind of stuff. If you think of all of this stuff that these black players endure, think of what's happening over in Europe in soccer. You know, where you got whole stadiums chanting, you know, racist epithets. I remember they were throwing bananas at some players. So, you know, it's crazy that even though we see this progress, all of this stuff still exists and it's still very much in our faces. This overt racism that we see in sports, which is why, you know, again, sports is just a microcosm of society.
Yep. So here you go, D. The Masters. The Masters had no African American members until 1990. And no women until 2012. But the Masters have long had a requirement that all of their caddies had to be African American.
There you go.
So you could be a member, but you had to be one. You couldn't be a member, but you could be one to help. You could be a Bagger Vance.
And but here's the thing, man. And you would think. It said they also banned all black golfers from the Masters tournament until Lee Elder participated in 1975, which that ain't that far back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's during our time.
That's during our time.
I think I was telling somebody about this. But man, the Golf Hall of Fame, the World Golf Hall of Fame is dope. Tara and I went some years ago for our anniversary or whatever. It was real dope. But
dude,
I remember
the Golf Hall of Fame for our anniversary.
Well, no. We went to Jacksonville.
My wife would have probably slapped me if I'd have mentioned it.
Dudes, and you wonder why.
We went. We were in
over.
We went to Jacksonville for our anniversary.
Okay.
It just so happened that the World Golf Hall of Fame was at the resort, where it was literally you could walk from the resort that we stayed in. So we walked over there. I was like, oh man, this is dope. But I remember, man.
Yeah, probably did kill the mood a little bit.
Huh? Well, remember my wife bought golf clubs. So, but you know, yeah. She played. She played.
But yeah, so
nevertheless,
where I grew up in Cincinnati was right down the street from Macatiwa Country Club.
Hell, Cincinnati is like one of the biggest racist cities in this country too.
Hey. But I remember going down there. One of I guess I can say this since we only got 10 viewers. one of my great aunts, one of her boyfriends worked there. I ain't gonna say his name, just because
say his name, big. You gotta say his name, man, on our podcast.
Don't mess up his benefits, D.
I don't know his last name. We always just called him Uncle Charlie. So Uncle Charlie worked at Macatiwa. And I remember being a kid and going down there with him. He watched golf and stuff. So I remember watching Lee Elder and some of those guys. play way back in the day. Jack Nicklaus, because of course he's from Ohio. This kind of stuff. And I remember going down to the country club, and it's crazy when I look back on it and think about people calling him Charlie at this country club. All these white men referring to him as Charlie and Charlie. He, yes sir, all this kind of stuff, right? And I remember I asked him. I had to be about maybe 7 or 8, and I asked him, because he used to take me down there all the time. They had a bowling alley in there and everything, and if I could caddy. And I remember very emphatically he was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I'm gonna be a caddy, But again, now that I'm older, I understand.
He took the heat, so you didn't have to.
Yeah, basically, essentially in that way. It was like, no, you don't.
There's not nothing.
You're not gonna be a caddy.
You're going down that road. You're going down that road.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, like I said, you can go through each sport. Each sport.
Oh yeah.
And because even with basketball, we've had when was it 60? When was the UTEP? When did they win the championship?
50.
The black squad.
57.
Was it that long?
Because remember Pat Riley played on that Kentucky team.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they were called Texas Western.
So you had them, that the first black team.
I'm sorry. You were right, Rod. It was 60,
like 3, 65.
Yeah,
like 50. So I didn't know it was that far back. But yeah,
you're right. It was 65. My bad.
Say it again, D.
I said 56. So I had
what'd you say?
I said you were right. I have no problem admitting when you were right. That's you that can't admit when I'm right.
I tell you when you're right. It just ain't often. It just ain't that often.
He just keep most of the incidents of you being right a secret. Yeah, he keep it a secret.
Yeah, 65.
But yeah, so basketball, which is especially like in the NBA, where they were super racist, and until they start realizing, hey, we ain't gonna be able to win unless we get these brothers to come on in here and play with us.
Yeah, these some hooping brothers.
Yeah, these some hooping brothers, man. They play this game way better than we do. But now, D always say this, where you see the shift now is in the audience, where a majority of the audience are not like the brothers that's playing on the court. So that's where the that in the audience and in the boardroom, which is the biggest issue in the boardroom. There's are there any other? There's no other majority black owners in the NBA now, are there? Is it? Since Mike,
no, I don't think it is.
Yeah, so that means that we don't have majority. I don't think there's
black owner anymore.
Do we have one in any sport right now?
Let's see.
No. I know there's no one in football.
Yeah, no,
definitely not in football.
There's no one in football. If there's nobody in basketball, I know the other sports that there's not.
There's not one in baseball.
I don't even know if we have
definitely not in the major sports.
Not in the major sports.
So that's an issue that no one. We need to put more of a light on that. Adam Silver, as great as you are, bro, come on, man.
It's interesting. Again, we kind of found out the last time about Brian Davis or whatever. After we talked about that, all that kind of stuff came up. But I think one of the things that also bothers me is it's almost like we never even hear about anybody black trying to buy a team. Of course, we had the Bobcats, which Bob Johnson or whatever, and then of course Jordan ended up taking over that, so that was it. But very rarely,
y'all won, you ain't gonna get no more.
But very rarely do we even hear about black people trying to buy teams. I know Byron Allen has been trying to buy a lot of stuff for a number of years.
Magic Johnson,
but he didn't even become a majority. you know,
exactly.
He's a straight minority owner.
And you can't tell me that there isn't black people who have those kinds of connections and financial connections to be able to get up enough money to be able to buy lead, you know, an NFL team or an NBA team or a major league or an MLB team, or you can't tell me that there's not one, that there's not black people who have those assets.
So back beginning of the year when me and Dante had our argument about this, when what's his name was selling the Commanders, Snyder, when Snyder was selling the Commanders, the issue is not that we can't come up with the financing. We can come up with the financing. If you get your group together, they can come up with financing. Right now, you don't see just one person going out here buying in a team. It's always a group of individuals, but you have that one person that they put out front that's, you know, gives the majority of the money. Right. You can have that. There are black billionaires, and there are black billionaires that are interested in sports. I think where the problem comes is that the other owners really don't want that different in that room. So, like I said, back to Adam Silver. Adam Silver can go out and solicit. You know, he does a great job. He does a wonderful job. But like, look at Minnesota. Minnesota, they have been going back and forth with Minnesota for the last year and a half now. Alex Rodriguez to buy this team, right? They can't come up with the financing. They can't get that finance.
I thought the owner, the person who was supposed to sell, I thought that they kind of backed out of the deal
because they couldn't come up with the financing.
Oh well, okay. I should say that.
I didn't know the reason.
The reason that what is his name? Whatever his name is, he started backing out because they were unable to come up with the financing at this. You know, they had a specific time when they were supposed to do it, so they were unable to do it during that time. But they were able to. Well, according to them, they have it in place to go ahead and complete it. Well, he's now said, well, you know, maybe I don't want to sell no more. So now they're trying to sue him to go ahead and sell. It's a big mess. But I was talking. The whole point is, just like they got that group together, you can get some other group. You can get some other guys together. I'm pretty sure
you get some Jay-Z's and those guys.
I'm pretty sure if let's say they're selling for $4 billion.
We were talking about black ownership, but we were actually talking about racism.
Yeah, that's all we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. I think they are selling them for $4 billion. But you got $4 billion. So if Jay-Z put up 500 of his $2 billion,
and what wasn't he trying to buy something? Was it the Knicks? Was it the Nets?
He owned it. He was part owner of the Knicks.
He's minority owner of
like 2 or 3% or something. When it really
that's 2 or 3% more than anybody else, huh?
But going back to I guess I shouldn't say not to interrupt you because I am interrupting you. but don't most of these people who, again, ain't the point of buying something not using your own money, just having the collateral to be able to do it. So it would seem to me that somebody like a Jay-Z, you know, because they know he has that kind of money making, you know, ability behind him, that would be able to secure the money that it would take, the bonds or the loans or whatever it would take from a bank to be able to be, again, not necessarily to own the whole team by himself, but to be a majority owner. Again, Oprah may not be interested. I only mentioned Jay-Z because I know he had been in sports ownership before.
Exactly, and he's also a big sports fan as well.
Right,
so.
right. You know, so that's the kind of the only reason I mentioned him. I wouldn't mention anybody else. Like, I don't necessarily think Oprah is that big enough of a sports fan where she would actually want to own a team.
$1 billion and trying to own the team. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I don't think, you know, that she would want to do that. She doesn't strike me as that kind of person. But somebody like a Jay-Z that we see at a lot of sporting events. I mean, other people with money we don't really see at sporting events. We didn't see, we didn't see Puffy at sporting events. We didn't see, you know,
Kanye.
Well, I mean, he wasn't a billionaire. Well, I guess he was.
You might have saw Kanye there, but he had that mask on or whatever. You wouldn't see his face.
He wasn't really that kind of a sports fan. So
and his wife is half butt naked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. But let me ask this question though.
Go ahead.
Speaking of this, staying on this black ownership thing, it's just something I was just thinking about when you start talking about why these owners wouldn't want a black voice in the room. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that black voice would, in many ways, represent the players' voices.
You know what? I was thinking that same thing. They can since the league is what 80% black.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good guess?
Oh, it might not be that high. I think it might be in the 70s.
In the 70s, even if it's 70% black. Well, now you got a voice. That 70% has a voice at that table, and I don't think they want that.
Right?
They definitely don't want that. I mean, they're purposely excluding that voice away from the table because
But D, you absolutely right in that. They're not just going to come up with $4 billion out of his pocket to pay for this team.
It's 70.4%.
Okay, so 70%. Let's go. So they're not, any investor is not going to. It's always you always want to use other people's money. They tell you that when you buying property, you use other people's money. Right, Same thing with these teams. They're going to use other people's money. But the only thing they have to show is that hey, they got this much leverage. I got $7 million behind me. Right, or $4 billion in this case, if we're talking about Minnesota, I got $4 billion behind me, so I can afford to, buy the team. I still got money to run the team because you got to have money to run the team. That's how Mike got in trouble. Mike was able to buy the team, but then when it came time to actually running the team, he had to run it on the shoestring because he didn't have the financial wherewithal like all these other teams. So he had to keep his payroll where it needed to be. But you can't tell me that this group, we can't get a group together to go out and buy a team. You just can't.
Well, I think it also speaks to something bigger.
What's that?
As far as racism is concerned, is the inability of black people to be able to secure that kind of financial backing.
Exactly.
Secure that kind of
finance.
That's
a good one. Yeah.
To be so. If we've always had trouble redlining and all these other kinds of things that have occurred that have greatly decreased the probability of black people being able to secure even home loans or personal loans or business loans or so on and so forth. This is a business loan. So hell, if I can't get $100,000 business loan, I sure as hell ain't gonna get a $1.4 billion. You know what I'm saying? So.
It all goes hand in hand. Yeah, right. You're right.
Let me ask you this, like this octopus, right? And how everything in many ways ends up, kind of connecting about how this racism in sports, again, as we said before, it just shows how sports is just a microcosm of overall society.
So let me ask you this question. One of the things that Adam Silver was talking about during the finals was expanding the NBA, getting two new expansion teams for the NBA. What are your thoughts about the NBA players? That's 70% demanding that they do, even if they do something like McDonald's does, allowing a minority to purchase, even if they don't have the full amount, the full $4 billion rather behind them, allowing them to come in at a reduced rate and taking more of their money, as not taking their money, but recouping the money that the normal, because you don't want them to pay less than what they're supposed to pay. So if the number is $4 billion, that's how much they need to pay.
Got to come in at.
Yeah, that's what they need to come in at. But allowing them to come in, say, with $1 billion liquid, and then being able to recoup those $3 billion over X amount of time, but making sure that this team has a minority owner.
Well, okay. Well, this is what I'll say to that.
Go ahead.
Going back to a point that we were just making earlier, that we know that there are black people who don't need that kind of, who don't need it, who can come and who can do it the right way. And do it the way that it's on paper. We know that they have the money to be able to do that. So instead of lowering the bar how about allowing the people who are already at the bar the damn opportunity to be able to do it?
Okay.
You see
at the end of the day, that's what we do it.
So we know that there are people out there with the ability. So just give them the opportunity.
So however, whether it's lowering the bar or allowing them to do it, I think the question I want to emphasize, the part I want to emphasize is, should the 70% demand that the next owner of this X franchise for, let's just say, Seattle must be a minority?
I'm not going to put it on. I'm not going to put it on them that they should.
Okay.
Because you know me, I hate to tell people what they should do. You should do this. You should do that. However, what I will say is, if they did that, it would go a long way.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'll say. I'm not gonna say, yeah, y'all better do this and y'all should do this, and I ain't gonna Dr. Umar nobody, right? but what I will say is that if they did that, that would go a long way, particularly as we've seen ideas of player empowerment go in the last few years. So yes, so if they were to do that, however they do it, if they were to do that, I think they would hold a whole lot of power in making that happen.
So, dudes, what? How can I phrase this? Are there any negative effects of if the Players Association, if that 70% did get together, and we're not gonna say they demand or what, we're gonna make them do it, but if they did get together and they said, you know what, this is what we want to present to the league, and this is what we want. Do you think there's any negative to them doing that? Do you think that the league would look down upon them, or trying to say you can't do whatever?
I don't think they would say that openly. It'll be kind of like it is now. It's back room, where they're being excluded out of these this ownership, and so yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. It would be great, like D said. It would definitely be great, but I don't think it would be any
fallback on him.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be any fallback per se. I think it'll be mostly like like the back room talk, like we always talk about, and because it's definitely going on. We're being excluded from being in these places, and it's not like nobody knows don't know what's going on. It's obvious, and it's the year 2024, and it's still, it's still the same issue.
You've had players like LeBron, like Steph, even Draymond, that said that is one of their goals. They want to own an NBA team.
And then you got to look at these big contracts that they're getting now with Jaylen Brown, and then Tatum, has coming up. They definitely will have the money. And then, some of these guys are very intelligent, so they have the wherewithal to be able to make things happen. So I think in the future, maybe, but right now, like I said, I don't know.
So if LeBron, go ahead,
let me give props when we talk about backlash or whatever, or what would happen if something like this.
Bro, I don't know what's going on with your background, but it showed like you got a shag.
Oh, that's my Pokemon.
Go ahead.
But I want to give props to the women. The WNBA did it. The players from the Atlanta Dream, wasn't it?
Yes, they did.
They got together, and just the players on that team said, we don't want this woman to own this team anymore because of her views and because of so on and so forth. And guess what? They got a new owner. That woman is no longer the owner. I don't know if she's still a senator or whatever, or was running for office, or whichever one it was. But they did it. So the NBA players, once again, just like during the pandemic and the protests, the men can take a cue from the women.
Yeah.
And if they want that, if that's something that they really want, then they should get together and do it. The women have shown that it's possible. That the players have enough power to be able to dictate those kinds of things.
You know what? I completely forgot about that whole little instance.
I did too.
But you're absolutely right. They said, you know what? We don't want her as an owner. And you know what? I don't want to. Let me.
But you know, a lot of times that's what it takes. You know, for somebody to shine that spotlight on a situation, on a bad situation.
Right.
And like I say, even though we know, you know, that this is taking place, sometimes it just takes that spotlight to be shined on that situation.
Right.
You know, for somebody to take action.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it is.
Whether you're shaming them into taking action, or, you know, so be it.
Sometimes you have to do that.
It says her name was Kelly Loeffler.
Okay.
She was U.S. Senator, former U.S. Senator.
Okay, well, she's no longer a senator. So now
of Georgia.
She was her team. She also lost her position. She got voted out
2 times. And now they're owned by Renee Montgomery. No, never mind. That's not the owner. Wait a minute. Oh, it is. It's Renee Montgomery, a former WNBA player. A black woman.
Okay.
So, well, she's one of the. She's not the majority owner. She's one of the largest minority owners. Yeah, Loeffler. She was the one that she was criticizing Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And that's what got her team not wanting to play for her anymore. But yeah, and we talk about that. The players have to realize that they have the power. And what's funny, now this is a horrible analogy, but it's like slavery when you have four white men that's in the big house running 500 slaves that they have on the field. If those slaves got together and decided, you know what, we ain't gonna have this no more, they can easily overrun the folks in the big house. Same thing with the players. The players have the power. If they all got together and say, you know what, this is what we want. We've had this for way too long. There are 30 owners in the NBA, and not one of them are black. There's 32 owners in the NFL, and the only major minority owner is Magic. He's the only one, right? I don't even know what the stats are in NHL or in Major League Baseball. Baseball is so. It's a lot of companies that own baseball teams,
right? I mean, you had Derek Jeter. I mean, I don't know if he was majority owner down there in Miami.
He was president, wasn't he? I didn't even think he was owner.
I thought he had bought into the Marlins. I thought he was owner. I might be wrong.
I don't know. You're probably right. Let me see.
But a lot of times all it takes is for the players to get together. They could just get together and organize, and come up with a plan. I was watching the what's the show on Hulu? The Clipped, about the Clippers.
Yeah.
David Donald Sterling situation.
Yeah.
And they were showing, behind the scenes how, all the players, they were coming up with ideas of what they should do. And it's like everybody had a different idea. Well, this guy wants to play. This person wants to protest like this. This person wants to do this. This person doesn't, want to even show up anymore, and a lot of that was part of the issue. If you can get everybody to, consolidate, come up with a consolidated plan on what we're going to do, and then go ahead, put that into effect.
So So Derek they gave him 4% of the team when he became the president.
Okay.
But he had to give it up when he quit.
When he quit, okay.
So he doesn't own any parts of the team or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is a subject we can talk about for hours, and we have for like 50 minutes. So we
started talking about Willie Mays,
and this all came from Willie Mays.
And then
Willie Mays.
And went to racism in sports. But you can't talk about the Negro Leagues and talk about what was going on with Willie Mays
without speaking about racism.
You can't, man. You can't.
And it just goes to show how much in this country that you can talk about that at a certain point you have to talk about race. Unfortunately,
yeah. And unfortunately, the more things change,
the more they stay the same, dude. The more they stay the same. All right, let's talk about some the good parts of sports.
Well, sure ain't the Cardinals or the Reds.
Dude's got on the Cardinal hat, man. We had 500. I think after that win last night, we had 500.
Yeah, I'd take it back to the red hat game. We got to try to bring it back.
Game. Yeah, there we go. That's the oldie but goodie. The oldie but goodie. John gave us that name.
The Cardinals in second at 500, and the Reds are in third. We 36 and 39, 3 games.
Look, hey, even though we got D from Cincinnati, we can still stay the red hat gang because
the red hat
is red. Yeah,
the red hat gang, man. But I have to give credit where credit is due. And that's in regard to
your head grow while you were in Miami too, dude.
That's in regards to
the
NBA finals that just concluded. When was that? When did the game? Sunday? Monday.
Oh, Monday. Yeah,
Monday. It was Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to give kudos where kudos are due. And that's to me because I did pick the Boston Celtics to win. I picked them.
He picked a Monday, D.
Oh no, we're gonna bring back the tape. I told you they was gonna win. The problem was I was still wrong because I was trying to jinx your fellas, and they wouldn't take the jinx.
I know. That's the only reason he said they were gonna win. He was trying to jinx us. Like I did the Knicks.
They wouldn't take the jinx, man. But we do have to give congratulations to Jason Tatum, first and foremost, from the area. Congratulations, Jason, and the Boston Celtics for winning the 2024 Larry O'Brien Trophy. Congratulations to D-Dub for his fandom.
Being a lifelong Celtics fan. And now all those people who said that Tatum and Brown could never win playing together can all eat their words. Me and dudes.
Exactly.
That goes me and dudes.
I can happily eat my words.
So dudes, yeah, your boys, they played a hell of a series.
We certainly did, yes.
But the question I have for you is, we know how great Boston played. Boston has been great all season.
All year.
I have to give it up to them from the beginning, from the opening tip to the last buzzer in the final. Boston has been just lights out. Now they have been very they make you mad, frustrating. They make you mad.
Make you pull all your hair out,
When they go on these stupid
3-point benches
drought where all they do is shoot threes,
right? All
50 in a row,
and don't
miss
rebound
after miss,
and give up a 40-point lead, right. But then win the game at the end of the still winning by 20 at the end of the game. So they're frustrating, but I mean their team was great. We can congratulate Boston, but I want to go to the other side of the court.
Oh,
because
Lord. Not the Knicks side.
That team is the most interesting. You had the Dallas Mavericks with their great offensive player. He is one of the best offensive players to ever play in the NBA. even at such a young age, and that is one Luka Doncic. And they have another player who is probably the most skilled player in the NBA right now, and that's Kyrie Irving. But what do you think the future holds for the Dallas Mavericks?
I think Dallas's future is bright. I believe this was definitely a great step in the right direction. You know, we said it at the beginning when they made the trades at the All-Star break, that, you know, they had excellent trades. PJ Washington and Gafford, you know, were exactly what they needed. And that's what propelled them to make it all the way to the finals. You know, those pieces along with Kyrie and Luka. But they definitely have some holes to fill. You know, they have to, you know, get Luka together. You know, Luka, you know, if you looked at the game where they won, Luka was passing the ball ahead, you know, and the team was fast breaking or whatever. So I think that's the key to their team. They need to go ahead and play that way. You know, Luka pass the ball ahead, let Kyrie or whoever run the break or whatever. If nothing's there, then, you know, give it back to Luka and let him execute the half court offense, you know, where he's most effective.
But Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
Good.
But he, you know, yeah, no D.
No D.
But pause.
That is so, you are so wrong, dude. You are so wrong, dude. You are so wrong. You are just so wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for my boy. He's just wrong tonight.
That was that good.
It's a good thing I didn't say little thing.
Oh my God. But like I was saying, you know, Luka definitely has to make some adjustments to his game. He, you know, he needs to, you know, pass the ball ahead. You know, they need to get the offense to where the ball is moving and swinging around. And then, like I said, Luka can still do his thing in the half court offense. Kyrie can play any kind of way, so it doesn't even matter. So, you know, I think they have the opportunity.
Kyrie ain't a defensive stopper either.
Well, no.
He's not a stopper, but he's not he plays.
He'll play defense.
He'll at least attempt to play D.
Yeah, he will. I give him that. He will play.
I mean, he's not great at it. Don't get me wrong, by any stretch, but he will. He's out there trying to play.
Yeah, and that's all you could ask for, because really, you know, it's not too many. We talked about it earlier this year. You know, we couldn't probably name 5 great defenders in the NBA right now. But yeah, Luka, you know, like I said, he looks like the prime James Harden. You know, his offensive stats are great. You know, he's scoring the ball, you know, great. He's unstoppable. But he looks like a fire hydrant out there on defense. He's just there, you know, just stuck.
I know. I watched one series where I don't even think he crossed the half court line until it was like 6 seconds left to go in the 24-second clock. I mean, he's just cruising, just chilling. They were playing 5-on-4 on the other end. He didn't even come across.
Oh yeah, and you know, and like you know, I always go back to Larry Bird, you know, for the basketball knowledge. Like you said, you know, playing one into the floor is just like running halfway in a race. You know, you got to do both sides. You run halfway in the race, you can never win just running halfway. So you definitely got to play the other end of the floor. But you know, Dallas did great. Boston is just greater. They're the greatest. Drew Holiday, Drew Holiday was steady all year. White was steady. You know, Tatum and Brown, they were up and down, but they are great players. They just, you know, they just up and down. But you know, those solidifying force of Holiday, White, Horford, and my boy Porzingis. Shout out to him. You know, we just had more horses. We were way better than Dallas.
Porzingis went right from the finals to surgery.
So again, something you brought up with the Celtics. So how great was that the Celtics acquired Drew Holiday.
That was
a gift, man.
Think about it. Just think about the fact that at how I don't think anybody realized or has really talked about how important Drew Holiday is to the Celtics in their championship run, but also how getting rid of him messed up the Bucks.
It torpedoed him. And you have those players like that are like the centerpiece and the glue guys that, you know, they make everything work. And without him, nothing works. He's one of those types of pieces.
When the trade went down, when the trade went down, we even said that we didn't think that was a good trade-off because yes, you're getting, you know, 8 more points from Dame Lillard. You get 8 more points from Dame Lillard, but you're gonna give up 18 more points with Dame Lillard from defense, right? So we said that you know that was not a good trade-off. But the fact that
I think it's even more than that. But go ahead.
But the fact that Boston basically stole Drew Holiday from Portland is just unbelievable, man. They gave up not Malcolm Brogdon, you know, is a scrub. I'm not saying that.
Oh yeah,
but Malcolm Brogdon, ever since he left Milwaukee, as it stands, ever since he left Milwaukee, has always been hurt. He's never been reliable. Yeah. So you gave up someone that was not reliable for you for someone that's a rock that plays great defense, that passes the ball, that is a straight team player. You gave up, you know, and they say the best ability is availability. You gave up someone that wasn't available when you needed him available because he didn't play. He played, but he got hurt in the playoffs last year. So he didn't help you when you went against Miami and lost. So, but now you got this. I mean, he should have been all defense.
Oh yeah, easy.
So that's another argument. He should have been all defense, but they were able to get him for
he didn't make none of the all defensive teams.
Say again?
He didn't make any of the all defensive teams. Or you say
he made the?
Or he made first team. He should have been first team.
Hold on. Let me see. 24 NBA all defense. Here we go. Get to that. We had.
He made second team. Second team
all
Caruso, Drew Holiday, McDaniels, Suggs, and then White.
Greg White. So look at that. Boston had 2. Both of their guards on all defense. Oh man, come on, man.
Like I said, those guys are solid, man. You need guys like that.
You wonder why Kyrie couldn't get off in a series.
This is the thing to me about Drew Holiday, and even more so than Derek White, though. When can you ever say Drew Holiday had a bad game?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I mean not just defensively, but also offensively. When have you ever been able to say, "Oh man, Drew Holiday had a bad game"? Oh, Drew Holiday had a bad game. He was 1 for 10 or 2 for 13.
He doesn't take bad shots.
He doesn't take bad shots. He always seems to make the right play offensively. We even we know his defense is going to be there, but think about the fact that he is always there when you need him. He is always that person. If somebody else is slacking, you gonna look up and Drew Holiday had 18.
Oh yeah.
If somebody else, if Jason Tatum have a bad night, Drew Holiday had 22. If Jaylen Brown had a bad night, Drew Holiday had 25. And he did that in the series. When that night that Jason Tatum quote unquote had a bad night, only had like 12 or 14 or whatever. Drew Holiday
was 9 to 12. 9 to 12.
And so he consistently does that he always fills in that gap when he's needed. he always comes through for you when he's needed.
And that's what I said. The reason why the Celtics won, they got those guys, Brown, Holiday, and White. Those guys are solid and just steady throughout. So as Tatum and Brown, as they go up and down or whatever, those guys are steady. So you know what you're gonna get from them. And then, like D said, they could always step it up, when needed. And you need guys like that, man, especially championship teams.
And
the Knicks don't have that though.
That's what we gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Especially when we get.
But Randall was at the finals, right? Randall was like commentating.
That's the closest he gonna get this year. Next year, something different. But no, with you think about it. Last year they had Marcus Smart, who's a good player. Again, they're not scrubs. Marcus Smart
took bad shots,
and Brock, and that's the difference. Marcus Smart, he thought that he should be. It should be a three-way.
Thought he was one of
it should be a three-way thing. Yeah, it should be a big three. No, that was Marcus Smart's thinking. I'm on the same plane as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right?
And I got here before them, so they should follow me. Yeah,
I've been here, so this is my team. It ain't y'all team. This is my team. The fact that they got a player in Porzingis for Marcus Smart, who gonna give you 18 and 8 and 3 blocks every game when he's not hurt, but he gonna give you that every game, and gave you the defensive presence that you thought Robert Williams was gonna give you. He gave you that defensive presence, and you got him from Marcus Smart. And then for Brogdon, who was don't get me wrong, Brogdon was the 6th man of the year.
Oh yeah, he was a good player. He
was a 6th man of the year. So, but you got Brogdon, you gave up Brogdon and got, like I said, a great defensive player. But more than just defense. He's in that you kind of disrespect him when you say great defensive player, because you're not looking at his total game. Like D said, he's steady. He doesn't make bad plays, doesn't take bad shots, and he shares the ball. And that's the biggest thing about it. He will share. He'll get that ball moving, right? And when it doesn't move, he'll go get it and make it move. And that was a big thing they did. Dallas doesn't have that. Dallas has a player that brings the ball down the court, dribbles it for 22 seconds, and if he can't take a shot, then he passes it off. And
he throws a hand grenade.
He'll get an assist. He'll have these 14, 15 assists, but that's because it's not that he's setting the players up. It's because he throws the ball to a player the last second. They got to throw it up, right? So, and that's the difference. And the thing about Dallas dudes, next year is going to be very difficult for them because they only have 2 scorers, and that's a problem. They have 2 scorers. What's his name? Hardaway disappeared.
Yeah, he lost his confidence, and that was it.
I don't. Did he even play the last 2 games?
He played. He couldn't score. He couldn't catch a cold.
He was gone, and that's a problem. They don't have that. They don't have that third scorer.
Well, which, say did he play? He scored 2 more points than we did.
But you know what, PJ is a lot better than I thought he was, and I watched the Hornets a lot, last year, and I knew he was decent, but he stepped up and he proved to me he's a pretty good player. I don't necessarily think he's going to be that third player. I think they need to go out and get that third player.
That's not his spot.
Then you have to start looking into who can they get rid of to get the third player,
because they're gonna have to get rid of somebody. I'm not trading for Hardaway.
Yeah, exactly. And and Dallas need Lively, they need Gafford, and they need PJ. So they can't give those guys up.
And Derrick Jones Jr. is a free agent who may not be there because they can't offer him the type of money he can get somewhere else. So it's going to be difficult for them to repeat what they did this year. Plus, you still in the West, you got the team that they beat in Minnesota, who is they're gonna have to make a decision between their 2 bigs. Minnesota will, because first off, they can't afford to have all those players on the court at the same time. especially with Ant-Man, his contract starts this year, so they're going to be up against it, trying to fill out that team. And you don't want to get rid of what's his name, the point guard.
Mike Conley.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of Conley and get cheap that way. So they're going to have some tough decisions. Denver has a lot of free agents also. I'm nervous about Denver. I don't know if Denver can come back either, because they got KCP, he a free agent. Reggie Jackson, he a free agent. They're gonna have their big three. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna have those three, but they're gonna remind me of like Phoenix trying to field the team. Phoenix, yeah, I don't know about Phoenix. I just don't know about them. But I said all that to get to these boys. The Oklahoma. LA. No, man, nobody care about no LA, Brian. Brian.
I thought you were talking about the coach, JJ.
The Oklahoma. Now, I'm gonna talk about him in a minute. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, the trade that they made yesterday for Caruso.
That's your favorite player, wasn't it?
Man, I wanted Caruso in the Knicks so bad, man. Bruh, Caruso, he's not. Don't expect him to get you 20 points a game. That's not his game. But he can get you 10 every night. He gonna get you 10 every night. He is him and Drew Holiday on the same plane when it comes to defense. But Caruso's bigger than Drew Holiday. He's a bigger player. And White boy's athletic. He's very athletic, deceptively athletic. When you look at him, you're like, man, that dude, he ain't that athletic. But when he played, man, he'd be all over the court, sticking everybody, blocking shots. Caruso is going to be great, because that's what OKC need. They didn't have any kind of veteran leadership whatsoever. So them the boys you're going to have to watch for.
Well, I thought, listening, today to some of the pundits talking about this trade, and they were talking about the trade. Who was it? Giddey that they traded. And they basically, one of the things that they talked about was when they talked about Dallas, and we talked about referring to them as or rather I did the
Alice Mavericks,
because they didn't have what? They didn't have any what?
No defense.
It's vitamin D.
But one of the things that they mentioned was how basically Dallas just sagged off Giddey. And Giddey wasn't shoot. They don't know if he lost his confidence or whatever was going on, but they basically just allowed him to just do whatever. And he never took any shots. But you can't do that with Caruso, which just opens it up for SGA and everybody else. Plus, they already got another elite defender in Dort over there. And also, what's his name? Williams is a good defender too. So you just upgraded defensively. The team that was already the number one seed in the West last year. So you just made a tremendous upgrade defensively.
But offense too, man. Like you said.
Well, offensively too.
Caruso shot 42% from three.
Right.
So the brother, he got game.
He got game.
Right. So he also gives them that one thing that we talked about Oklahoma needed was somebody else. Because basically you got Shea playing 1-on-4 oftentimes, in a way kind of doing the Luka Doncic in many ways, right? Being the primary ball handler, dominating the ball and so on and so forth. But one of the things that they really did not have was consistent 3-point shooting.
Yep.
And without that, in this day and age, you got to have somebody.
You gotta have a 3-point shooter.
Especially, it's the where it's going to matter the most is at the end of games, right? You can give Shea the ball, let Shea go do everything he do, because Shea gonna pass the ball. He doesn't have to shoot the ball out there. He gonna pass the ball.
But think how much more effective Shea would be with the floor spread out like that. You have a shooter out on the floor.
So now when he's shooting 42% from three, you can't do that.
Right.
When Giddey first got there, his freshman year, his rookie year, he could shoot the three. He was a pretty good shooter. I mean, I thought the boy was going to be, great because he could pass. He was a triple-double waiting to happen. But, he did go through a lot this year. He did go through a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if his off the field stuff, off the court stuff, if that, it had to have an effect on you. That'll have an effect on anybody.
Oh yeah,
especially the accusations they had against him.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can understand how he had a bad season this year, how his mind wasn't there. So I can understand that. So I'm not going to write him off. I think it was a good trade on both for both teams.
He gets a clean slate. He can rededicate himself and go ahead and
if he can muster up the talent that he had from his rookie year and his second year.
Oh yeah, because he can play ball now. He
can play ball, and he's 6'7" or 6'8". Mm-hmm. How tall is he?
I think 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah. 8. So and the thing is, so here it is in Chicago. I think they're gonna play him at the 1 because I think that's his best position. He's a great passer.
He's a great passer, but I don't know if they're gonna play him at the 1.
In Chicago,
yeah,
they need somebody like that.
Yeah, they definitely do. But he is a great passer.
He's gonna be there because I don't know what's going on with Lonzo, man. He may be
Lonzo knees looking like mine. Right now.
He had just as many surgeries as you. So.
Yeah, he about right there.
He right there with you, man.
I'm at 8, so he's getting there.
You at 8?
You said what?
How many surgeries you had?
8.
Dang, dudes. I know you had 8 surgeries. I know about 2 of them. Where the other 6 come from?
It's been a lot, and I can still out jump you, right?
You probably can.
We ain't gonna have no contest though, because we don't want nobody. We don't need either one of us going to the emergency room or urgent care.
Man, if I try to jump right now, I'd be like, tear all my Achilles and everything else. So I try not to jump.
Right, be the tornado.
Hold up. Check this out, dudes. Last week we had a program at church, right? And I was an MC. So one of the acts needed some music played. Well, we needed one of them little cords to plug into the system, to plug into your phone, and you can plug it into the headphone jack.
Mm-hmm.
That was up in the choir stand in the sanctuary. That was about probably about 200 yards away. And the song with the song before hers was playing. So I called myself running. I ran to the choir stand. I grabbed the cord and I ran back. When I got back downstairs, man, I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't talk. Hey, y'all sing a song because I need to catch my breath. I can't breathe right now. Y'all sing a song.
Going to the NB selections, please.
Just give me something. I don't care what y'all sing. Just sing it. I can't breathe right now.
You sing "Oh Happy Day."
Give me a minute, man. So yeah, bro, that was horrible. I was rolling out for a minute, and then that monkey jumped on my back.
Weighed you down a little bit.
That monkey jumped on my. It was a lot faster getting there than it was getting back. Let's just say that.
That's that moment when you think to yourself, "Am I really running this fast? I'm actually running. Oh,
I'm running.
Right."
And then it's hard to stop.
Right. And your heart say, "No, you ain't. No, you ain't got no more."
So I told you to stop about 50 yards back, and you kept running.
You don't want to listen.
Man, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, you was looking like Patrick Ewing when he played for the Orlando Magic.
Or the
Seattle Sonics. When you watch him play, your knees start hurting. You start rubbing your knees while you're watching him play.
Like Pat don't look like Pat no more.
Ooh.
It's like, Brother Pearson rolling out. I was like, no, he ain't.
Right.
All right, so give me your favorite team, dudes, on the West Coast. Dudes got 2 favorite teams. One on the East Coast, one on the West Coast.
And what was crazy? My two favorite picks this year was Dallas and Boston because I'm a big Kyrie fan. Yeah, so those are the people that I wanted to go to the finals from. Those are the two teams I followed all year. But of course, I had to go with Boston that week.
So the other big news in the NBA this week is from the coaching ranks. Well, two things happened in the coaching ranks.
What happened?
The first, since Dorian got this up there.
Just looking out of the window, watching
LeBron shoot up threes,
thinking how it all looks hand-me down.
Good times.
Yeah. Keeping your head above water.
No. Let's quit.
When you can. Temporary layoff.
Good time. Let's quit. So the Los Angeles Lakers finally decided on their next head coach after striking out with
Hurley.
Dan Hurley. About to say call him Danny Hurley. Dan Hurley. After striking out with Dan Hurley, Hurley turned him down. They went ahead and hired who has been predicted that they will hire for like the last 2 months. And that is none other than LeBron James' partner on his podcast, someone with absolutely zero head coaching experience.
He coached his kids.
He coached his kids.
Absolutely zero head coaching experience.
We all coach kids too, so we should be. We should have been running. Nobody called me.
I can be the Lakers coach.
My kids went to state.
Hey, I coached the undefeated AAU team, 13-year-old AAU team. So
shout out to AMJ.
Well, I got kicked out of the church league because I was fussing at the referees. So I got banned from the church league.
I could see that. I could.
Hey man, that was cheating my boys, man.
You're right. He got banned.
I could see him getting banned for his substitution patterns.
No, I got banned. I got banned for
if a kid misses a shot, he's out.
I got banned for language.
Well, he did say God.
Exactly. But I think I said one F word too many. Like on that Key and Peele thing, you got the 3 pumps. You do 2 pumps, you okay? You get third pump, that's a penalty. So I gave him the 2 Fs. If I'd have left it at the 2, I'd have been straight. But I had to come back with that third one, man. I just didn't learn.
Wow, Lord. Wow.
The Lakers have hired none other than University of Duke or Duke University all-time leading scorer, and that's JJ Redick. So, dudes, your team, your favorite team on the West Coast. How do you think this gonna go? This whole little dynamic, this JJ dynamic.
I think it'll be our yearly Lakers dumpster fire. I think the Lakers just need a total rehaul. I would like to see JJ, start with a younger group or younger team, but with the guys that they have, first of all, the guys that they have proven that they can't win over the past how many years?
Well, they won in 2020.
Yeah, they won in 2020. I'm saying since then, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they haven't been that great since. I can't say that. They did go to the Western Conference Finals in 22.
Well, yeah, they snuck in there.
They did,
but I mean,
I want to say
they have the same problems every year. With this year, AD played. He didn't get hurt, but LeBron's injuries have been racking up. With his age, and the team just plays inconsistently all year, every year. LeBron has bad body language. AD is AD. You know, you never know when he falls if he's going to get back up. What's this guy, D'Angelo Russell? You know, he's a big question mark at this point. And then all the others are question marks. And so
Austin Reeves.
Exactly. And then what's the minimum of the last couple of years? I mean, each coach is getting like 2 years. It's 2 years and out or a year and out.
Yeah, it's two. Everybody got
2 years and out.
2 years.
And and it's going to take about 2 years for, a first year coach, well, for any coach to, take control of a program and, mold it into his image and get it to go in the right direction. And he'll just be the next scapegoat for the Lakers. Put it that way. He'll be their next scapegoat.
Mm-hmm.
But do you understand that the Lakers have not been higher than a 7th seed?
I saw that.
The last 10 years.
10 years. Mm-hmm.
Even when they won.
Even when they won, they were like the 6th seed or something, wasn't they? In the bubble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So literally,
but they're delusional, to always think they're gonna, be in a championship chase, kind of like the
Cowboys.
And that's just what it is. But like I said, what would be considered a good season for JJ Redick? And then is he going to have the ear of the locker room?
He got LeBron.
I gotta say,
that's important.
The fact that he has LeBron's ear, does that mean he has the ear of the entire locker room?
Well,
LeBron is the locker room. Whatever LeBron won't go down.
I mean, what they gonna say? Then they gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm. But LeBron wanted Westbrook, so
So here's the thing. From what you just said, D,
and Bronny.
From what you just said, D, that's the next time we're gonna talk about that too. But what you just said, D, the fact that it's been 10 years since they've had higher than the 6th seed, right? LeBron has been there, 5 years now? Yeah, he went in 2019. He's been there 5 years,
mm-hmm.
Right?
AD came 2018.
Yeah, he joined
2018. So 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there 6 years. They got lucky in the bubble, right? And the team gelled together. They won that championship. But they were a 6th seed. They weren't expecting to do that. The bracket just broke for them.
Mm-hmm.
Other teams were getting hurt at the wrong time or what have you. So they got lucky. But other than that, they did go to the finals. Again, the brackets just broke that way. But other than that, LeBron's teams in LA have not been that good, man.
At all.
So, and they want to claim that LeBron is one of the greatest Lakers ever. No, he's not.
No.
LeBron ain't nowhere close to being one of the greatest Lakers ever.
We done got away from the topic. But I will never understand why. The only reason people want to make him one of the greatest Lakers is because he's LeBron and he played for
because he was a great player and now he's on the Lakers.
Right, exactly. And he's not one of the greatest Lakers. You haven't played with the Lakers long enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's to be considered one of the greatest Lakers. You just happen to won a championship for the Lakers again in the bubble, but you became the all-time leading scorer as a Laker. That's the only reason that people are saying that or trying to say that he's one of the greatest Lakers ever. I'm sorry,
exactly.
He's one of the greatest players ever. He's one of the greatest Cavaliers ever.
You can even say Heat because he hasn't been around that long.
And I would even say he was leaving his prime when he got to the Lakers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason I wouldn't consider him one of the greatest Lakers.
Right. But even you could. But part of the reason that you can say that he's one of the greatest Heat ever, I would almost be reluctant to say that, except for the fact that the Heat didn't start until 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So the Heat, he played for the Heat, for 25% of their existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Yeah, I can say he's one of the greatest Heat players, but a Laker, no. The Lakers are one of the original franchises in the NBA. There's no way that just playing for 5 years in LA makes you one of the greatest Lakers. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. One championship.
Again, well, they keep saying, well, he won a championship. It was in the bubble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? It was in the that year, you have to put an asterisk by it because there was no home court advantage. Had he gone to Golden State and played those games, then he got killed. Not Golden in San Francisco. My bad. Where's the game? Where did they play?
They in San Francisco now.
It is San Francisco.
They in San Francisco.
Had they gone had those games occurred in San Francisco, they would not have won those games. It's just the fact that they were in the bubble with no crowds, no home court advantage. They were able to put the games together. It's like playing at in the rec, at the rec center or whatever. That's how they were playing, and they won. I have to give them credit for winning. However, they were not one of the best teams that year. They haven't been one of the best teams since LeBron has been there. His first year, they were in the lottery because he got hurt.
They didn't make the playoffs.
Right? He got hurt. The second year, they traded their whole team for Anthony Davis, and they won the championship. Kudos to them. But again, there's an asterisk on there. But since then, they've done nothing. The win percentage is right at barely above 500, right? And to consider him to be a great player, one of the greatest Lakers, not a great player, but one of the greatest Lakers, it's just not there. It's just not there. Hell, I put Byron Scott before him. Byron Scott.
That's like saying Bill Walton is one of the greatest Celtics.
It's one of the greatest Celtics. Yeah. Bill Walton was a great player, but he wasn't a great Celtic.
Exactly.
Celtics for 3 years. What, 3 years?
And he was hurt 2 of them.
So there's that. But getting back to JJ, JJ's going to have an issue because everybody on that team knows that the only reason he got that job is because of LeBron. I don't care how much LeBron wants to say he didn't have no parts of it. The only reason JJ got that job is because of LeBron. There's 50 other coaches in the NBA that could have taken that job and done a good job before even I don't know how far down the list I would go before I say, you know what? I think I'm gonna go hire the commentator from ESPN, JJ Redick, because he's a good commentator. He's never installed an offense. You play basketball, yeah, but you've never installed an offense. You've never had to make any decisions of when to call timeouts and when not to call timeouts. You've never had to substitute any player. You've never done anything in the NBA. Yeah, they keep saying, well, he coached his son in junior high school. Come on, man. Come on, man.
If that's the case, I took me and Shorty took A.M. Jackson 7th to 8th graders to state. They had never won a game until we started coaching in 2007 or whenever we started coaching, and we went all the way to state.
I think you should consider D for the Pistons head coach.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Lester Cotton, one of our kids ended up making it to the NFL. He played the University of Alabama, and he played for the Raiders. I think he was at Miami. I don't know where Lester is now, but anyway, that qualifies me for an NBA job.
That doesn't qualify you because your basketball player had to quit basketball because his talent wasn't good enough to go play football.
But the fact is, we went to state, so that qualifies me because I never heard of JJ Redick taking his middle school kids to state.
They did go. They did.
So I coached an undefeated AAU basketball team, 13 and under, and then also my NBA 2K teams are exceptional every year. And that's gotta mean something somewhere.
Me and JJ got one thing in common. We both got kicked out of our games because JJ got kicked out of his kids' game.
Right. But I got a question which goes back to this.
Go ahead.
It goes back to something that we talked about before. And it goes back to that when we were talking about the idea of player empowerment.
Go ahead.
So if LeBron has all this power, why JJ Redick? Why not some of these same black coaches that we've been talking about? Again, that's a big if. Now, again, LeBron denies it, so I don't want to say that he's the one that made sure, even though we can speculate all we want, and all the evidence and the compass is pointing in that direction that LeBron had something to do with JJ Redick, being hired.
And look, even to take that a step further, D. Remember in Brooklyn with Kyrie and KD, and when they brought Nash in?
Right.
Why didn't those guys say something about that?
Right. So
it was other qualified coaches and people like the Sam Cassells of the world, that
at the time
have been what
head coach with New Orleans he wasn't a head coach yet. He hadn't been hired.
Exactly. Guys that have paid their dues.
Or Darvin Ham, who people my God, let's go back to who we always talk about, Sam Cassell.
Yeah, Sam Cassell.
So again, I just find that interesting. If LeBron has all that power, why JJ Redick?
Right. Hold up, B. Going back to our previous topic. Okay. And this I think this is the biggest thing. I'm happy for JJ Redick, right? I'm happy he got an opportunity to do something that he wanted to do. I don't want to diss him in any way. However, the privilege that he has based on his skin that will allow him first and foremost
to jump the line.
The first thing he did was become the first chair at ESPN as a commentator when
after Van Gundy and all of them, after they let Van Gundy and Mark
when Doc left, because Doc was in the first chair at the beginning of the season until he somehow found his way on the Milwaukee bench.
Milwaukee coach.
Doc was in the first chair. But when they had an opportunity to bring in some other people, you got Jay Williams there, right? That is Jay has done it before. Jay is great. Jay is great.
He is
at commentating basketball. You got Jay Williams there. But here it is. You jump over Jay and you go to JJ, right? For no other reason. I don't know. I don't have any proof. I'm speculating. But you jumped over the brother and went to the other, right? Gave him that opportunity. Gave him that opportunity. But then here, and y'all said it, the one thing that pisses me off about this whole little decision is looking at someone like Sam Cassell that has been a coach for 15 years.
Paid his dues.
Has paid his dues way. He paid so much dues, man. We owe him change.
In winning situations.
And
all his teams.
And to a man, every person that plays for a team that Sam Cassell coaches on says how great of a coach Sam Cassell is, right? So how is it that Sam Cassell can't even get an interview? I don't even know if the Lakers interviewed him. Why? Because again, it goes back to the thing we have down at the bottom of the screen. As much as we don't want to say, you always go to people that you're more comfortable with. And we're more comfortable with people that look just like us. And that's how it is. You got what's the Rob Lowe looking dude for the Lakers?
Pelinka.
Rob Pelinka.
Rob Lowe.
Man, he looks just like Rob Lowe.
Just like Rob Lowe.
He looks just like Rob Lowe. But you got Pelinka, who, slick back hair, looking at, JJ Redick. JJ Redick looks just like Pelinka, right? They can you can tell they run in the same circles. And that's what he went with. And said, oh yeah. And he came out and said, oh, he had such a great interview. I listened to him and I felt the leadership that he had. Really? Was JJ Redick ever a captain on his team?
None of his teams.
Well, any of the teams that he played
at Duke, maybe at Duke.
Maybe at Duke. And that's just because he was the best player on the team. Right? But in the pros, you never heard. I never saw a C on JJ Redick's jersey.
No.
Right. So how is it that he's such a great leader? Right.
He never started till he got to the Clippers.
Where did that come from? You know what I mean? So Sam Cassell, I know Sam Cassell had a C on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. And again, I know Sam Cassell is a great coach because I hear all these other players say what a great coach Sam Cassell is. And for JJ Redick to jump that line in front of a player, in the front of a coach like Sam Cassell, man, it goes right back to our subject right there. Because I don't know any other thing. I can't think of any other reason why.
Yeah. And like I said, it's so rare for a black person to jump the line. I mean, I think Jason Kidd kind of went straight in, right? When the Jason Kidd? When he coached Milwaukee.
Did. But the thing about Kidd, though,
that's rare, though.
The thing about Kidd is that even when he was playing, everybody was saying how great a coach he's going to be once he retires.
Oh, yeah. And he was known to be a great leader.
Exactly. He was known to be a leader. I don't want to down JJ, but I ain't never heard nobody say, "Oh, JJ is such a great leader." Never, ever.
Well, you heard it now.
We got Sports Center all the time. So that's the issue that I have with the JJ Redick hiring. You know, is the fact that there are more deserving coaches that white and black.
Yeah,
it ain't just the black ones, white and black, that he jumped over and got an opportunity with one of the greatest franchises in sports, right? And it's mainly because of his association with LeBron James. Right. So, go ahead, D.
No, I don't really have anything to add to that. I mean, it's just there isn't any other reason that I can think of as to why he was able to immediately to get that job so very quickly. I can't dispute anything that either one of you all have said. I don't even have anything necessarily to add. Both of you all said it all.
And as bad of a coach as Pat Ewing was at Georgetown when he was in the NBA, they kept telling him, "You're going to be a great coach, but you need to get some experience on this bench." Mm-hmm. They made one of the greatest players in NBA history sit on the bench and learn how to coach before they even look at him, and they still never looked at him as a head coach. Nope. He had to go to the pros where he proved that he's really not a head coach. But
that's beside the college.
Yeah. That's beside the point. He didn't go to college. Yeah, that's beside the point.
Again, it's about, like I said earlier, talking about the idea of the money thing, and this idea of lowering the bar, or lowering the standard or whatever. It's even the idea of the Rooney Rule. Not to say that the Rooney Rule is not important and shouldn't exist, but we've seen it, or I swear it seems like all these NFL teams seem to be able to skirt the damn Rooney Rule.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are some people that don't know what the Rooney Rule is.
Right. Sorry. The fact that in the NFL, whenever you hire a head coach, you have to interview. You are forced to interview other minority coaches, right? But the thing is that the NFL seems to skirt the Rooney Rule all the time for whatever reason. But my point still goes to the fact that it's not even about you shouldn't have to, quote, lower the bar or lower the standard. Just the people with the ability, give them an opportunity. Why is it that JJ Redick is going to get the opportunity to suck?
Yeah.
Why can't some of the other coaches who have the ability and who have the experience and who again have paid their dues give them that ability? Mm-hmm. I always find that interesting with these retread coaches, how all these white coaches who suck get the opportunity to go to all these other places and get jobs over and over and over again, get all of these different jobs. And you have all of these black coaches who have the ability who never get the opportunity. They have the ability. That they have the ability. Give them the opportunity. And that's all.
And I was looking at when they were talking about what's the guy? Coach Charlotte Borrego.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how his interviews were so great, and they're considered bringing him back in, and other teams have been talking about him, and didn't this guy do terrible in Charlotte?
Y'all talked about how hard it was.
Yeah, nobody saw this. I mean, it's like this happened. Nobody saw it.
Look at Trump. Did he do terrible in office? Do y'all not see this?
Oh, it just became political.
Right.
It's always political.
Right.
So, but
I'm like, everybody saw this, even with the Luke Walton situation.
Man,
he got on with LA because of Golden State, and when Kerr got sick, or when he was down, Luke was able to continue to winning, even though he's just doing the same things Kerr was doing. Had the same team. So he was just riding the train. So naturally he got the position with the Lakers. Did horrible. Went to Sacramento.
Did horrible.
Did horrible.
And now he the GM in Golden State.
Some of the best we've ever seen.
Right. I like what D said. Why not give these brothers the opportunity to suck? That's a good question, D. That is an absolutely good question.
Speaking of brothers that got the opportunity to suck. Even though Rodney just said it like 50 times.
Right? Did you get the opportunity to suck?
I'm good. I'm straight.
You just want to make sure you get the opportunity. The opportunity was afforded to you.
They have the ability, so they just need an opportunity. So
to not do so well.
Right. To not do so well. So my Pistons have decided that they are no longer interested in seeing the full Monty.
Sorry, Mont. I don't want to see the full Monty either after that one situation when we're going to the club.
Right after that soapy episode.
All right, but so Dorian always has an issue with teams when they fire the coach after 1 year.
Yes.
And I usually agree with Dorian. However, on this particular one right here, this is by far the easiest firing that had to go down ever. Monty Williams had zero desire to coach the Pistons last year. He did not want to be there. It was a chore for him to be there. He definitely didn't want to coach. He had just gotten fired from Phoenix as the Phoenix coach. He just gotten fired from them, and the Pistons just kept going at him. They kept going at him, until finally they kept adding more money to the offer. Until finally the man just,
they made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
He could not. He could not. Man, you give me $15 million a year for 5 years to come coach your team?
I'll take it.
I'm gonna have to come. Now I just got to show up. Y'all making this a hard episode, boy. Y'all making this a hard episode.
But you don't have to, Roddy, necessarily. I mean, you just prefer
Sometimes
to.
you want to, man. Sometimes you just want to. Come on. Y'all got issues. Your brothers got issues, man. Got the to watch everything you say on this episode.
So go ahead, right? You say so you have to what?
You're gonna have to make your way to Detroit to become the coach of the Pistons. I see. I'm about to pay attention to every syllable the brother say for the rest of the evening.
He put some emphasis on it too. I'm gonna have to.
But I mean, Monty had no choice but to take that job. I mean, he'd have been an idiot had he not taken that job.
Oh yeah.
But again, just watching him, I know they were on ESPN. They were talking about how it's such a horrible job. The Pistons job is just horrible. The Pistons job is just horrible. Monty Williams made the Pistons horrible this year. Monty, at the beginning of the year, for the first 6 weeks of the season, Asar Thompson was on pace to be one of the top rookies in the league. He was great. He was averaging 10 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 5 assists. He was balling, absolutely balling. He still couldn't shoot. He ain't never been able to shoot, but he was playing defense. He was passing the ball, getting rebounds. That's what he was doing. He had an impact on the team, but didn't impact the winning because they still lost like 20 some odd games in a row. But he was, doing what he could. Then Monty decided, you know what? I don't want you doing that. I want you to stand in the corner and shoot threes. The brother, you already know he can't shoot. Why would you put him in the corner and tell him to shoot threes? It made absolute. He shot 13% from 3 this year. 13% and shot 4 threes a game. Why are you making this boy stand in the corner and shoot threes? Worst coaching ever. And then you had your first team all rookie player the year before in Jaden Ivey, first team all rookie, brother was balling. Then you decide, we gonna make a point to make him work for his points now, make him work for his time. And you took him out starting lineup, put him on the second team, and the brother's confidence just sunk.
Just plummeted.
Mm-hmm. Just plummeted. You did that with him. You did it with Durant. You did it with everybody on the team. And you got one of the youngest teams in the league, and all you want to play are these old players that are way beyond. They played what's his name? He came from the Nets. Joe
I don't know. You the season ticket holder.
What is his name? Joe white boy. Dang it. I can't think of
his name. Joe Harris.
Joe Harris. You played Joe Harris was horrible. Absolutely horrible, but you playing him 30 minutes a night. Taking minutes away from your young team that you need to develop. You playing Joe Harris 30 minutes a night, and he's scoring 10 points but giving up 30 every night. I'm like, come on, man. Everybody in the league sees this. How are you not seeing this? Monty Williams had zero desire to be a head coach of the Pistons.
Their whole roster was giving up 30 a night.
Yeah, that's true.
At each position.
Here's the thing, dudes. The Pistons would be in the game all the way up until the last 5 minutes of the game. They would be, they would just break your heart, man. They get there. And the reason why it's a young team. They don't know how to win yet. And he didn't help them with learning how to win. So my hope is that the one coach that I want to come here is Sam Cassell, because Sam Cassell is a teacher of basketball, and I think that this is the type of team that he needs, because there won't be any pressure on him, to win. They're not expecting the Pistons to be in the playoffs next year. There's not going to be any pressure on them. So all your whole job is let me develop these young kids. And I think Sam Cassell will do a real good job at that. Because Monty Williams sure as hell didn't.
Hey, you a season ticket holder. You watch them much more than I do.
Thanks, man. Bruh,
you definitely saw the full Monty.
All he would do is he stand on the side. He would stand right at the scores table, just like this. Wouldn't say nothing. Wouldn't do nothing.
Is that like the B-boy stance?
Exactly. That's all he would do. We're like, man, call a timeout. You let this team You let this team go on an 18-0 run, and you won't call the timeout. Come on, man. Call the timeout.
He was thinking.
So, and then he would challenge the stupidest plays. Everybody in the stadium could see that was a foul, and you're going to go challenge it. Like, come on, man. Who are your advisors? So, that's all on your Monty Williams, D. But we want to go back to one other Laker-related news, and that is with one dude's favorite, well, Monty and Calvin's favorite player, and Johnny.
Johnny too?
Johnny loved him some LeBron too. What? That's LeBron James, and his statement from his agent. What was it? 2 years ago, LeBron said his dream is to play with his son, Bronny, right? And everything that Bronny has done has been guided by that one fact that LeBron wants to play on the same team as his son, right? Even coming out to the draft this year, even though he's probably not one of the top 60 players that's coming out, but the fact that he stayed in the draft was to play with his dad, to possibly play with his dad. And they were even putting it out there that, to other teams that LeBron is a free agent that might be, and all he wants to do is play with his son. So a lot of other teams were thinking, okay, well, maybe we can draft Bronny and LeBron would come, right? Yeah. Well, now they're saying Maverick Carter, who's LeBron's agent, is saying that it's not a necessity for LeBron to play with his son, right? So basically trying to open it up so other teams could consider drafting Bronny. But at the same time, he says that Bronny is not going to accept a two-way contract, which is what most second-round picks will get, is a two-way contract. But Bronny's not going to accept that. He's only going to accept a full NBA contract. So, dudes, do you think Maverick Carter has the type of power that will force teams to draft Bronny and do what it is that they is it even worth teams to draft Bronny based on the comments that his agent has made?
I don't think it's worth drafting Bronny. It's like they're trying to get him to bend to the will of Maverick Carter, the Rich Pauls and these guys, trying to get, they're trying to get the teams to bend to their will, and LeBron as well, So we're about to see how powerful LeBron actually, how powerful he actually is now. But I hate to see it. I mean, I like Bronny. I like for him to get a chance to play, but not over someone that's more deserving. And we all know, nepotism does exist. It is what it is. If we have the opportunity, we put our kids in the best possible position as well. Right. So, I ain't hating when it comes to that. But, I'm not hating when it comes to that, but I just hate to see it, somebody else that's more deserving, not getting that opportunity, due to the fact that, LeBron or if it's Maverick Carter or Rich Paul, yeah. If they're, trying to get the teams to bend to their whims of getting Bronny in the league. LeBron is not going anywhere. I don't think LeBron is going to leave the Lakers. Mm-mm. And I think Bronny's going to end up with the Lakers. Which is going to further doom the Lakers.
There you go. So D, what does this say about the Lakers if come next Thursday they actually draft Bronny James? What does this say about the Lakers? Are they succumbing to the will of LeBron? Even though LeBron is trying to say that no, he's not trying to he doesn't have to play with his son. But if the Lakers actually draft him, right, there's no way he's going to leave the Lakers. I don't think there's a way he's going to leave the Lakers anyway. But what does that say about the Lakers? That they're going to draft someone to put him on the team just so they can make LeBron happy.
Who is LeBron's agent?
Rich Paul.
Rich Paul.
Yeah.
So, but Maverick Carter, even though that's LeBron's boy, is Bronny's agent. Is that what it is?
Hold up.
And the reason I ask is because I don't know. Okay, if
real quick, D. Rich Paul is the agent.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that's registered with the NBA as their agent, but Maverick Carter is the he's the manager of the business
of the agency.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. All right. So I don't know if it'll show how much power LeBron has in whatever way, considering the statement or whatever from Maverick Carter. I think all these agents say a whole lot of stuff. We see your boy Scott Boras in baseball and Drew Rosenhaus in football, where they all make these outlandish claims and all this kind of stuff. So, trying to get the best possible deal for their clients. So I don't necessarily put any stock in that. But for the Lakers, if the Lakers draft Bronny James, then I think that it says I think maybe it says to look at this from a basketball standpoint, right? Not even necessarily a popularity standpoint or the fact that it's Bronny James. I think what it says is that this is a really weak draft. and we might as well draft Bronny James, right? If you get down to 55, like think about the fact that how many of these players in this year's draft can we really name, or do we really know much about? Again, when you were saying Bronny James is not one of the top 60 or whatever not. Mm-hmm. So if the Lakers pick him up at what, 55, 54, 55, mm-hmm. if he's not in the top 60, like what are you saying? What are we thinking that he's in the top 65, top 70? And if this draft is really as weak as people are saying it is, or we thinking it is, then really what's the difference between the 55th best player and the 65th best player, mm-hmm. or the 70th best player? So if I'm going to draft somebody and there's really not that much of a difference between Bronny and these other guys that we ranking him with, then why not draft Bronny? As far as the Lakers is concerned, why not? What really hurt you if nobody else is really that good either anyway?
I can, so that part I might be able to come on board with that one. What difference does it make if you draft somebody at 55 that's the 55th best player or the 75th best player? What real difference does it make? It's still a second round pick, and it's not a whole lot of second round picks that make the make the NBA
anyway,
or that even if they do make the roster, what they basically waving towels at the end of the bench clapping. So
was it Thanos?
right. So why not?
That's the perfect example right there, dudes.
Right, but
he is the perfect example of what Bronny James will be.
But I think that nobody was expecting Thanasis or whatever, Thanos or whatever his name is, to be that good anyway, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that if I'm going to draft, so I guess my point is that who is really looking forward to seeing Giannis and his brother out on the court together?
Nobody.
But if you draft Bronny again, if you're looking at the difference between the 55th best player and whoever, why not draft Bronny? And then you get the opportunity to get him out on the floor playing with his dad. Do you know what that, you know what I'm saying, what that would do? So,
so that, that was our conversation the other week. Bronny has a lot of appeal from a marketing standpoint.
Oh yeah.
From as a team, if I draft Bronny, I'm gonna have a whole lot of eyes on my team because of Bronny, even though he is a second round draft pick. But from a basketball standpoint, from a basketball standpoint,
what was that?
Casey, my two daughters going upstairs. But from a basketball standpoint, it doesn't make a whole lot of it doesn't benefit your team as much from a basketball standpoint. I hear what you're saying, D, that there's not much difference between the 55 and the 75. That's true. But Bronny's a 6'2" shooting guard, right? And you only have 15 spots on the team. And if you look at the Knicks is a perfect example. Anything can happen. You can lose players left and right, and you really need your players that are your 9 through 12 players. You need those players to actually be able to play because they might be called on. Again, what does it hurt? It might hurt you, from trying to get to the playoffs because now you don't have that 6'7" guard or forward that you needed, and you got a 6'2" point guard that can't shoot.
Yeah, but that same 6'7" point guard you was gonna have at the end of the bench anyway.
I hear you, but what I'm saying is you might.
So is that person? Are you really honestly expecting that person to come in and help your ball club?
They should. Are you expecting it? Yes, you're expecting it. You're expecting every player on that team to be able to help your club. Now, yes, they're not going to get the type of minutes that because it's not enough minutes to play everyone, but you do expect them to help your team, right? I don't know how much Bronny can help your team. Again, I hope that I'm completely wrong about this young man. I really do. I hope he comes in and he's the next.
But come on, but name me. This is about like your same argument about backup quarterbacks and winning the Super Bowl. Is how many people honestly are drafted? You just said most second round draft picks don't even make the roster. Mm-hmm. So who is it that you're drafting that if you don't expect them to make the roster, then you're really not expecting them to help your team.
That's true.
So again, if I'm going to draft someone that I know is that I can't really expect to help my team play because they're going to be number 13, 14, or 15 play on the bench wearing a suit anyway, who's only going to play sparingly. Oh, why not? If I'm going to draft anybody, why not draft Bronny James, the son of the arguably the greatest player to play the game, and let them play on the court together? Again,
what that is a straight marketing. That's a marketing a way to go. That's the only. If you're drafting him for the marketing side, yes, it's a great draft pick. But if you're drafting him strictly based on basketball, then no. To me, again, he might be he might come in and once he gets training by NBA training staff, might become Pat Beverly, a bulldog defender, right? Mm-hmm. What Pat Beverly was back in the day, and that's that's one of the things that
what's the Knicks pick in the second round? Where they at?
We in the 40s.
Y'all in the 40s? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, pick him up, Brad.
Nah. Not good. I want someone that can actually help my team.
Damn it! I'm sorry. God, I turned this into a damn Knicks conversation. I started. I am so sorry I did this. I don't care who the Knicks want.
Yes,
my point of asking.
I couldn't believe you asked that question. Yeah.
My point of asking that question was not for some type of draft analysis. of the New York Knicks, which I'm sure you have.
Yes, you do. We got 3 picks.
A question to say, who is it that you're really expecting to pick at number 47 or whatever that you really expect that's going to help your team?
At 40, I think it's like 40.
Also asking the wrong person this as well.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, I
I
would rather pick up a project for a center than Bronny James, because again,
Bronny I'm not talking about the Knicks picking Bronny James specifically. What I'm saying is that who are the Knicks picking at number 40, whatever, that you're really expecting to come in and help y'all get over the hump to make it to the finals next year, or to at least make it out of the second round of the playoffs next year? Are you really expecting the person that they pick at 48 or whatever to really come in and do that?
Be the difference maker.
Right. And that's the point. If I'm not looking for number 55, the 55th pick, to come in and be a difference maker, and there's really no difference between the 55th pick and the 70th pick, then
why not appease LeBron?
Why not?
Again, that's fine, because you're doing it for marketing purposes. You're not doing it because you think he's a player that's going to help your team. You're doing it to say, okay, I'm going to appease LeBron, and LeBron get to play with his son. That's why you're doing it, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But to me, what it says is that the Lakers, one of the greatest franchises in the sports history, are no longer being run like they want to be one of the greatest franchises in sports history, because what you're always looking for is the best players to help your team. And you already know that this is not the best player that's going to help my team. However, it will help me in appeasing one of the players on my team. So that's what they're doing. They're not doing it for basketball reasons. They'll be doing it strictly for marketing reasons. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what they want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? So there's that. Now, the last thing about the NBA is, Deuce, what are the chances of Clay leaving Golden State?
I think it's a good chance that Clay will leave Golden State.
Oh, don't say that, man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
I do. I would personally like to see him leave. Of course, sentimentally, I don't want him to leave, but I would like to see him leave and to get a new start, because things change with him and the dynamic of the team, and also with his limitations coming from those injuries, the ACL and the Achilles injury, and so I think he just needs a fresh start somewhere. I can't really think of a team that he would be great on. I know you're probably thinking the Knicks, but
I love being the Knicks, but I wasn't gonna bring that up. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
you're lying.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Yeah, yes, he was.
You lying,
but he would though. If you got Clay, next to Brunson breaking it down the defense, and then
he wouldn't get it. Clay, he wouldn't get enough shots because you got Brunson, and then now you got Randall coming back. So no, he wouldn't.
The shots will be there. The shots will be there. But no,
and I know Clay wants the opportunity to prove that he's still all-star worthy, or a top-notch player. I don't think he'll get that there, because he'll be maybe a number 3, 4. So yeah.
Go ahead, D. Who you got? What you think?
I mean, I think that the Golden State's playoff window has closed. I'm sorry, not playoff window, championship window has closed. I think if Clay wants to try to win another championship, then I think Clay is somewhere else. Now, I don't know what. Time out. What? Go ahead.
Breaking news. We don't have the button no more. There will be a game. There will be a game 7 in the NHL playoffs.
Edmonton beat them.
Edmonton won.
That's crazy.
I'm looking for the game, man. I couldn't find it.
There will be a game 7.
What channel
it was on when we were started.
Oilers stunned the past of the sports game 7 after being down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
What channel was the game on?
I have no idea. I missed it. I've been watching.
I was looking
I've been
at
watching
it wasn't on ABC or TBS. I was looking for it.
Yeah, I was
I've been
looking at the
watching
score when we got started.
The Olympic trials. But wow, that just popped up.
Wow, so the Edmonton is the second team to force a game 7 after being
down 3-0.
It's one other team that won. I think it was the Maple Leafs came back from 3-0. It was a long time ago, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And PK Subban said that he thought if they win game 6, he thought that Edmonton was going to win game 7 because of Connor McJesus.
So they won 5-1 in game 6.
5-1. Man, Bobrovsky is giving up goals.
He started off not giving up jack.
Man, he's giving up like in 12 goals in the last 3 games. Or did they pull him? Did they change goalies? I'm not sure because we didn't get a chance to watch the game. But dude, they've given up like literally 13 goals in the last 3 games. That's crazy.
It says Edmonton's 18 goals when facing elimination in Stanley Cup Finals put them one short of the 1942 Maple Leafs 19, which is the most in NHL history. That is unfreaking believable. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt your Clay, but that popped up, boy. We gotta talk about it. Go ahead.
But no. I think if Clay if he's really trying to win another championship, I think he should go somewhere else. If he wants to keep the band together to try to keep it running until the wheels fall off, then yeah, go ahead and stay. But they're not going to win again. They're going to. But I still think that the weak link in their team is Draymond.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I was gonna say that when you were talking, I think part of the issue with the whole Clay and all that stuff, when they gave, I don't think they should have gave Draymond that max deal.
Yeah, I think.
And I know it could have been possibly, they possibly could have attributed to the fact that all the championships and all that. But if you want your organization to go forward in the future, you can't dump all that money into these these players that are, I don't want to say has-beens. Yeah, past their prime. Yeah,
Draymond
I would be dumping it. I mean,
Draymond gets paid $25 million for 4 years. $100 million for 4 years.
Then they dumped the money to Jordan Poole.
Give you 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Exactly, and I think that's the problem right there.
That's what he does.
I mean, they couldn't afford to do it again with Clay. To give it to somebody that's not producing.
And
right. You're giving 2 max deals to 2 guys that are not producing.
I understand Clay being upset, but
me too.
Clay got hurt 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? It was
3 years ago.
3 years ago, right?
Yeah, in the finals.
So the first year he came back, he wasn't the same. This year, this last year, it wasn't as bad of a season as everybody want to make it out to be. He still averaged 17.9 points and shot 45% from 2 and 39% or 38% from 3. It was below his normal numbers, but that's not a bad season. It ain't like he can't play.
It wasn't a Clay season, and then Rod, don't just speed right past that last game either.
Where he
yeah. I mean, but hey,
but I think that for me, what has happened again, even like in the Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think for me later on, Draymond became a liability.
Yep.
He a big liability.
He's a major liability offensively. Oh my goodness, he's a major. I mean, at least during the championship runs, he was averaging double figures. 12, 13 points a game. His defensive energy. He's not the same defensive player that he was at all.
He has a reputation. That's all he has.
He's got the reputation, and so he became a liability. Clay was a liability only because he was still recovering from injury. Draymond, his play just fell off. And I think when Clay was injured, it really showed what kind of liability Draymond really was.
Oh yeah.
Especially offensively. That's why they had the worst record in the league, and they end up.
What Barkley said, he was averaging a single,
a triple single,
a triple single.
Again, it helped them get Wiseman, but they thought that Wiseman was going to be much better than he was. But part of the reason that they were so bad was because Draymond was so bad. Not having Clay really exposed Draymond.
Exactly, and like we said, I mean, the organization couldn't continue to dump all this money. They dumped all the money in the pool, and they dumped all the money in the Draymond. And now, I mean, they can't continue that way. You can't go on that way and be successful. Continue to be successful.
Right. But see, I'm of the belief. D said the championship window has closed. I'm of the belief that it hasn't. If Clay can play, if he can up his play this year, and I think he will. He's had 2 years. He's had 2 full seasons coming back off that injury.
I want to say this, Rod. Let me say this.
Good.
And watching Clay the past couple of years, Clay plays nothing like he used to play. Clay used to run and get open like Reggie Miller and all that stuff. Clay now tries to score. He tries to score over people. He's not trying to run and get the open shots, and I think that's part of the issue. Now, maybe it could be because he can't run like he used to, or whatever.
And Golden State,
or he's not making those shots. He can't make those shots.
Change how they play them.
But they also have no size. Golden State has.
That's the biggest issue.
Even the years when they won the championship, when even though Draymond's only 6'8", 6'9", or whatever, they still had Andrew Bogut. They still had JaVale McGee. They still had size whether it was coming off the bench or in the starting lineup. They no longer have any size, and so in order to be able to get some size, they're going to have to get rid of Draymond. Either Draymond or Clay is going to have to go. And again, like Dude said, you done already dumped that money into Draymond, and then who's going to trade for Draymond at this point?
Exactly, at that price.
That's the issue. Nobody wants to trade for Draymond at 25 million.
Nobody's going to trade for him at that kind of money. The only thing that you have right now really is Clay, but he's a free agent now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you just can't afford to do it. You can't afford to do it.
So yeah. So unfortunately, I think the band is going to get broken up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if Clay goes to, I know the big rumor is Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
With that young team in Orlando needs.
Was that a gremlin back there? You got attacked by a gremlin.
Drop my earbuds on the floor. But Orlando needs veteran leadership, just like OKC did. They need someone. If Clay was to go to Orlando, he's automatically their starting two, which is he would rather be a starter than coming off the bench in Golden State. The East is not as hard of a road as the West, right? The West, the two guards in the West are just crazy. You don't have a whole lot of crazy two guards in the East. You got Donovan Mitchell. Who else? I can't even really think of all the two guards in the East that would be. Who else? What does Brown play? He played the 2 or the 3.
3.
He played more than 3, doesn't he? Yeah. So
Derek White played it too.
So, but it's the point is there's not a lot of just markedly better two guards in the East. In the West, you got you got SGA. He played a 1 more than a 2. But the point is the East is an easier path for him than the West. So maybe it'd be good for him. Maybe it could be good for him. I hope so. I'm a big Clay fan, man.
I saw it back even when and all the other players saw it too, like Barkley and those guys. They saw it. I mean, he's done, and we all Clay fans, so we don't want him to be done, right? But if you watch him play, his game is.
That's
He's trying to change his game to be different from what it used to be. Now, maybe, like I said, maybe he can't run, like he used to and get around those screens. Now he tries to score over people, and he can't do that.
Yeah, he's not good. He's not good.
And that's why he's been struggling
and doing floater. He never learned the floater game.
Yeah, he's trying to dribble and just shoot over the top of people jumpers, and that's not what he did.
So
when he was effective.
But that's gonna be interesting. Free agency starts 2 days after or 3 days after the draft. So we're looking forward to that. Now back to the other topic. The other the breaking news. The Oilers won 5-1. D. Connor McDavid didn't have a point.
Wow.
He only had one shot on goal.
After having 8 points in the last 2 games, he had no points this game.
But they still won 5-1.
They still won 5-1. Bobrovsky, man, I mean, dude, that cat has given up 13 goals in the last 2 games. That is crazy.
It's man. And now they kept saying, "Oh, the pressure's not on us. The pressure is squarely on the Florida Panthers right now."
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, you're right, Ryan. You said it. He's given up 18 goals. They lost game 4, 8-1. Then they lost game 5, 5-3, and lost game 6, 5-1.
5-1.
So they've given up 18 goals in the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
That is nuts, and only scored 5.
Mm-hmm. So the offense has escaped them, and they have no defense right now. They can't stop the puck from going into the net. But there is nothing, as they say, in all of sports, there is nothing more exciting than a game 7.
Well, I'll be watching. I've watched about three of the games. I'm mad I missed tonight though. But I've literally watched about 3 or 4 of the games, and I thought Florida. I thought
the first 3 games,
man.
I thought they were going to sweep them, man. After the first 3, I just knew it was going to be a sweep. They were decisively beating them, and that's why Boston even went to Florida, dudes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boston, the whole team flew to Florida after winning.
And the crazy thing about it, when I was down there, this guy, he was a club promoter. So we were on the beach, and he was talking to these girls, of course, bikini, clad girls. Right. And he was telling them, he wanted them to come to the club, and he was like, I don't want to put it out there, but we got the Celtics coming to town. And I'm back there thinking, like what the kids say, Cap. Oh, come on now, he gonna go that low to say the Celtics are coming to town. So the girl's like, oh yeah, we're coming if the Celtics gonna be there. And then I saw the news that the Celtics were there, when I was leaving. Yeah, when I was leaving Miami, I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, that is the reason why they're coming down there to celebrate as well. But also,
So yeah. When will game 7 be, D? Let's see.
Let's see.
Sunday? Monday.
Game 7. Monday. Yeah, Monday at 8:00 Eastern time.
In Florida.
Yep.
In Florida. So
anything can happen in game 7.
Anything can happen in game 7.
And I know that dude didn't have any points this game. But
this is gonna be our last topic.
Well, it ain't much to talk about in the NFL. We talked Major League, what it was to talk about in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
In the NFL, they just got OTAs. Don't nobody care about OTAs.
And a couple of free agents like your boy CeeDee Lamb. Damn, I brought up the Cowboys. And his contract and some other
still hadn't signed him. Dak ain't signed yet.
Right.
But
so
yeah,
it ain't not much to talk about as far as the NFL is concerned.
But go ahead, D.
But no, I was just saying, man, this man, having started trying to really get into hockey, we've been around. We remember Gretzky, and I remember the names,
Mario Lemieux,
and
Brett Hull, don't forget about Brett Hull, man. Come on.
Like Brett Hull from the Blues, being from St. Louis. We watched the Blues go to the playoffs 25 consecutive years and not win a damn thing.
Not win a thing.
So.
But it was great when they beat Boston a couple of years ago.
But it was like, so we kind of watched because you see it on Sports Center, but I never really paid attention to it. But now the last couple of years since we've been doing this, I've kind of started to try to pay attention. I've never seen anybody play the way that this cat Connor McDavid plays. I haven't seen anybody on the ice that's as fast as he is, that can use a stick with the puck the way that he can. Man, did you see that pass that he threw when he went through the 3 Florida defenders? And then, man, this dude is amazing. He's amazing. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to play Monday night, because with a player like that, anything can happen when you got somebody like that on your team. Oh, you all right, Rod?
Yeah, hold on. I'm typing here.
I thought you was asleep.
Right, which ain't necessarily unexpected.
He sleeps better behind the wheel, though.
And that's spelled correctly. So we gonna take it down? Between Tiger, Jordan, McDavid, and Serena, who is the greatest athlete of all time?
What?
Oh, because I was going to say, what the hell is the Gale at?
I said it spelled correctly.
Hypocrisy. I'm sorry, I can't put McDavid in there.
Okay. Anytime yet?
Bruh, no.
Not yet. No, he hadn't done enough.
Bruh. Gretzky. I'm sorry. If we talk about hockey, I got to talk about Gretzky. I'm not. There's nobody that I'm putting over.
Yeah, we're not a prisoner of the moment, right?
Basketball. Okay, let me put them all in here.
There's nobody I'm putting over Gretzky.
Let me put them all in here.
The last topic.
I did too, because I'm hungry.
No, this was the last. I was leading to the last topic, y'all. Yeah, and you stopped me. All right. So, just a question: who is the greatest? Not counting the sport, right? But as far as like their dominance in their specific sport, is there anyone better than Tiger? Is there anyone better than Serena? Is there anyone better than Jordan?
I'm going to have to say, if I and again, you got to put Gretzky in there.
Is there anyone better than Gretzky?
And the reason I would say, I would have to say Tiger, and then I would have to say Gretzky, then I would have to go Jordan, and then I would have to go Serena. And this is why I put them in that order. Tiger dominated every single level of golf. And he came into the PGA whooping ass. And he whooped ass from the beginning of from the start of his career all the way until the injuries derailed his career. I think Gretzky did the same thing. From the time he was with Edmonton, he came in as a rookie. Gretzky dominated the NHL. Jordan didn't come in dominating the NBA. It took him to get to a certain point in his career before he was dominating the NBA. Now, again, he was dominating in terms of scoring.
Individually. Individually he was.
But as a team, he was not doing that. Gretzky took his team to the Stanley Cup. Edmonton to the Stanley Cup
several times.
There was right, and he was at him and Mark Messier, right? But it was Gretzky, right? This dude was just phenomenal. Jordan did it all. Serena had to build her way up to being the best. Once she started dominating, she was the best. She had to fight her way through those who were the best at that particular point. Tiger came in, and he immediately was the best. and
he was beating the mainstays of golf
immediately
right away.
And he stayed the best all the way through his career until injuries derailed his career. If he hadn't gotten injured, he'd still be winning.
So you said Tiger, Gretzky, Jordan, then Serena.
Yes.
Okay, dudes, how your list go?
And I'm sorry, if we say tennis too, I mean, you still got Federer. You know, Serena is definitely the greatest women's tennis player ever.
Mm-hmm.
I say that, but I don't know. I don't know if I would put her over Federer.
Oh, I would. I put her over Federer.
I don't know if I put, or hell, Joker.
That one I had to think about. I would put her over Federer, mainly because Federer was good in 3 of the 4 majors. Serena was good in all of them.
Yeah.
So that's why I would put her over Federer. Now Joker,
he been good in all of them.
Yeah, that's now that one is a little bit more difficult for me. But because I like Serena more, I put Serena in there. But to me, and I hear you, but to me, I think Serena's dominance to me is more impactful than Jordan's dominance. Yeah, like you said, Jordan was like Serena in that he had to build his way up. Mm-hmm. But Jordan, for due to whatever factors that you want to say happened, but Serena was dominant in her field a longer period of time than Jordan was. Jordan stepped away for a moment and twice. Serena, she stayed there and she was on top from early 20s until she retired. That's why I would put her above. Not that Jordan was great. I will have to agree with you with Gretzky. Eliminating the recency bias. If we just eliminate the recency bias with McDavid because he is great, but yeah, Gretzky. The fact that his teams were so dominant, and it was because of him. He was getting 100 points a season before that was even considered a thing. He was doing it at will. So I mean, one season he had like 80 points. He had 80 goals and 80 assists, or some crazy number like that. What was it? I don't remember exactly, but it was something that had never been done. He had the most goals and the most assists in one year. But Tiger, man, there has never been a more dominant athlete than Tiger Woods. The only reason no one will ever say that Tiger is the greatest athlete ever is because a lot of people don't consider golf a sport. They don't like to say golfers or athletes. But Tiger is by far the greatest athlete to ever play his sport, right? His specialty or whatever. The dominance that he had, man, is unmatched. It's just unmatched. I saw you sent something earlier from the Masters, where he was 18 under, and the next closest person was 4 under. Come on, man! How do you win a Masters by 14 strokes? That is just completely unheard of. And it's always when someone's a great athlete is when in your sport they'll say who's the next such and such, who's the next Tiger, who's the next Jordan. Well, you may find the next Jordan. Sooner or later there's going to be a next Jordan. They're trying to make Ant-Man the next Jordan. You ain't gonna never find the next Tiger to dominate for as long as he did, as as many majors as he has, as many tournaments that he won.
What was that?
Man won so many freaking tournaments, man.
I sent you a meme recently, Rod, about Tiger. That it says something to the effect of that if you take his 1999 and 2000 seasons, that he won more tournaments in those 2 years than Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Dustin Johnson, all them guys combined. Right, in their career. In 2 years, he won more than all of them cats combined in their entire career. That's dominance. When that dude walks in and you automatically know, oh, he's going to win.
Hold up. When he steps on the course on Sunday wearing red, everybody just say, "Oh, we lost.
You lost.
We lost."
Right,
because they know Tiger had what did it say when he was leading after 54? He had like a 92%.
Right, he like never lost when he's leading after 54 holes. No matter how many
54,
he did not lose.
He's not gonna lose. He's not gonna lose. Which again is unheard of, man. The dominance that he showed, that he displayed up until his injuries, and even after he got injured, he still won the Masters.
Right.
You know, come on, man. That's what I say.
He came back from a near-death experience
and won the Masters. So, I mean, you have other athletes, you know, other sports like, you know, baseball. We already talked about Willie Mays. You know, he's one of the greatest. Barry Bonds, one of the greatest. In football, you got Barry Sanders. You have Jim Brown. Well, Jim Brown is just a great athlete, period. Jim Brown is one of the greatest athletes, period. Bo Jackson, one of the greatest athletes, period. You can even put Prime on there as one of the greatest athletes, period. But they still won't compete to the accomplishments of these others. So
here it is, Ryan. I found it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Check this out. Hold on. So Tiger had 1,466 putts from 3 feet or less. He missed 3 of them. only. Let me see 1 minute. The second one is only 5 players have won all 4 majors. Tiger did in his first 15 starts. In the 2023 season, Scotty Scheffler had a scoring average of 68.63, which is 7th best of all time. Guess who's the top 6? Tiger. Tiger had an average win percentage of 95.7 after leading after 54 holes. All the other players have 42.7. And there have only been, wait a minute. In the past 60 years, there have been 3 occasions where a player has won 5 or more consecutive events. They all belong to Tiger Woods.
5 tournaments in a row. That's Thursday through Sunday. Playing 4 rounds of golf for 5 straight tournaments in the meet. Come on, man.
Yeah, that dude is ridiculous. But anyway,
come on, man.
Right.
That
was supposed to be
brothers, we've had I've had such a wonderful time. Dude's been making jokes all night, so dudes need to be put on punishment.
No,
But it's been fun. It's been fun as it always is. I like our new format when we just start talking. That's wonderful to me. We thank each and every one of you. Hey, you know what I forgot to say, man? I forgot. I messed up. I'm gonna have to do this twice so I can put it back in. So I can cut it and put it in the front. We want you to click that like button, click that subscribe button, click that follow button. Send those the money.
I think. Put it in the front, right?
Dudes, messing my stuff up, man. All right, I gotta do it again because I gotta cut it and put it at the beginning of the show. Man,
you're not putting it in the back anymore.
Miami, man. Dudes went to Miami and just came back. He's Kevin Hart tonight. He acting like Kevin Hart tonight. So as I said, y'all, click that like button, click that subscribe button, click that follow button. Send dudes the money. There you go. If we can continue to do what we do each and every week. We want to thank y'all for joining us. It's been wonderful. On behalf of the Wonder Mouse up there, on behalf of D Double, I'm Rod D. We hope you love what we had to say tonight, but if you didn't,
Kiss it.
And guess what, y'all? We out.
Don't blame it on sunshine. Don't blame it on moonlight. Don't blame it on good times. Blame it on the boogie. Don't blame it on sunshine. Sunshine. Moonlight. Moonlight. Boogie's got me in a super trance. Ah, sunshine. Moonlight. Yeah. Good times. Boogie. You just got the sunshine. Yeah. Moonlight. Good times. Good times.
To everybody needs boogie, to all my peeps here in Lawton, and back on to the illy and everywhere. Let's do it, y'all. Whether evading the smoke or debating with folk, they creating the quotes that's making us woke. When the sports world is sleepy on the daily or the weekly, get it, Mouse One, Rod D, Kid, Deuce, and Geechee. From hardwood to diamond, QD to rhyming, on the up or declining, and all out shining, even on the ice grinding. A world record timing when the athlete or team moment really is defining. If it's that deal or facts on deals, these cats chat real about the track and field, plus the ring, rink, and pool. All courts and courses, from unsigned players to stars with endorsements who wanna got deep. Teams that stop streets, who get in the dust and who own the hot seat for the movies and the oldies. Yo, they got the goodies, wanna know what's going on, rock will blame it on the boogie. Yep, 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 blame it on the boogie. Click that link and subscribe. That's what it is. God bless.